Welcome your hosts, Caddy Frank and Sarah Kemp, as they lead discussions about substance use disorder and the journey to recovery. You're listening to Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution here on AM 950. Today, we have two guests with us. First, I have
Elijah York
and
Darnell Cox.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Eli used to volunteer with us, turned intern, and now he's working at Fellowship Recovery as a certified peer recovery specialist. So I brought him on to talk about what that's like working as a certified peer recovery specialist in a treatment center, what that's like. And then Darnell is going to talk about our Walk for Recovery, our rally caps, and he's going to give a shout out to Recovery Cafe Frogtown to get more people involved in that space.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're also going to actually talk about food addiction today as well. Got a packed show. That's something we've never talked about on this show, and something that I don't feel like is talked about enough.
Definitely.
Because it's something that can happen either in recovery or it could be what your issue is. So before we get to all that, Eli, what is right with you today?
Something right with me today is that I found out that I'm going to be a new senior CPRS at Fellowship Recovery. So for me, that means full time.
Yay!
Full benefits. So I'm very excited to get that rolling.
That's awesome.
Continue this journey.
That's great.
Awesome.
All right, Darnell, what's right with you today?
So I got a clean bill of health. I had a doctor's appointment today,
Awesome.
did my yearly physical, and taking care of
Yay.
myself.
Great,
I'm also setting up some dental appointments, so I just gotta get caught up on all that good stuff.
Right on, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Sarah, what's right with you?
Along the same line of health stuff, a couple weeks ago, I found out I have really bad high blood pressure.
Mhm.
And so I started back on high blood pressure medications, and now I'm back to like the 110 range,
Okay.
which is the healthy.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah, because it was like 185.
Oh,
before.
wow. Yeah.
So getting back down there to the normal range, which feels good.
Yeah, I bet.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
yeah. So Eli, why don't you give the listeners a little backstory of who you are, just in case they forgot, and then how you got to Fellowship Recovery?
Yeah, so I did struggle. Well, I mean, I continue. I have substance use disorder in my background. That substance of choice for me was alcohol. I struggled with being an alcoholic for 10 years, drinking on the job, drinking just to operate my normal everyday function. So early parts of last year, I attended treatment, went through treatment. Wanted to, figure out how I could be more involved in the recovery community along with going to treatment. So that meant trying to find volunteer opportunities. I found Minnesota Recovery Connection, got connected with Sarah, and we got kind of the ball rolling. And then after I had about a year of sobriety, I was able to attend the recovery training, and I made sure to do that right as soon as I got close to that goal so I can get my certificate and everything close to that 1 year mark. And I'm here today because of all that. So
Wow. So Minnesota Recovery Connection played a big, not that
huge role.
we're amazing,
Yeah.
but
You guys definitely played a key role to, my development as a human being and kind of how I view how we can interact in the recovery community.
that's awesome. So what is it like working as a certified peer recovery specialist in a treatment center?
So in a treatment center, I work in an intense outpatient treatment facility. We have, we go all the way up to 2.5, which is the most severe form of outpatient treatment.
So what does that mean, the most severe?
It means that you just need a little bit more support that you don't necessarily have outside of the treatment center or at your sober home. So we try to set you up with more of a one-on-one style-ish type treatment program. You're still in a group, but the group is much smaller. So you guys all have more attention on that smaller group to kind of figure out where they might be, kind of missing some of that key support that we most of us need to have that support to continue on our paths of recovery. So it's definitely been very interesting because it's, I get to look into early stages of people's recovery, literally coming right off the street, because we do offer board and lodge too through our fellowship housing. So that has been a large Large chunk of kind of what I've seen is the early stages of those recovery, trying to navigate and meet a lot of people where they're at, specifically in that early stage, because we all know how kind of confusing it can be within those first few weeks, few months. So it's been kind of eye-opening for that as well.
So being in a treatment center, have you noticed that people want to meet with you as a peer recovery specialist?
Yes, so that's definitely one thing that I have definitely worked with my clients, is that I tell them that, I'm never going to tell you what you need to do. You guys always come up to me and tell me what you're trying to work on, and maybe we can see what we can kind of address it together as. And I think when I have clients come in and meet with me, I always greet them with a warm smile. I'm not not a standoffish person. I love to interact and meet people. So I feel like that kind of energy gets put off already. So I have a lot of other, clients from other CPRSs talking to me about like stuff that they need help with too. So I am a needed person there. So it is very, very good and very rewarding to be wanted by people that are trying to better their lives.
Yes. And I think and Darnell can agree with me, I'm sure. But the role of a certified peer recovery specialist is such a important role in somebody's recovery.
Oh yeah, it plays a key role in getting that initial foundation to figure out where you want to go on that recovery journey, and have that support for somebody to walk along with you.
And especially it sounds like you're working with people that need the most support.
Yeah. I mean, we like I said, we have a lot of people that were recently homeless, so it's just like they have a lot of needs that they haven't necessarily thought of needing for quite some time. So to be able to sit down and come up with those plans to be able to try to address benefits, trying to get your benefits so you can actually survive and have food, and setting up medical appointments with them, making sure that we have all the medical opinion forms signed properly so we can make sure that we're sending in all the proper information to the county, and it's just it's very interesting, especially when I can view in as someone that went to treatment. I had a house, I had a place to stay, I had my support system already kind of around me. So to kind of see that shift from someone that's coming from the streets, having all of this attention brought onto them, it's just trying to make sure that we're making them as comfortable as possible while still trying to help them maintain and further their own recovery. So,
and I don't know about you two, but in this work that we do and having the support and the family that we have, it makes me more grateful for the life and the support that I do have outside of work.
Yep, very much so.
So, okay, let's see. What else do you want to say about fellowship recovery, Eli?
We are young. We're still growing. I would just say, we offer all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter, if you have a medical cannabis card, we have treatment for that. So we have treatment that addresses stuff towards that as well. And like I said, it's a very young company. When hungry.
Did you open?
They opened, I want to say 5 years now. I want to say early portion of 2021.
Oh, so it is very, very new.
They've definitely been growing. You can definitely notice the growth. Everybody there has been very hands-on in the recovery community alone. So, we're trying to get our name more out there so people kind of know more about us as well. Mm-hmm. And,
so
you guys are great.
So where are you guys located?
So we have two locations. We have one building called the Perspectives Building, which is 3381 Gorham Street in St. Louis Park. And then the other location we have is called the Citadel Building. That is off of 1516 West Lake Street in Minneapolis. It's both facilities are extremely nice. The Perspectives facility is a family-style treatment center. And not necessarily meaning that you're going to have your kids with you, but it is more focused on patients or clients that have families and they're trying to get their stuff situated so that they can remain active parents in their households.
Oh, that's awesome. That's kind of like what RS Eden had, because you were able to have your kids when you were going through treatment now, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they had a step down program where you had your kids there. They gave you an apartment building and you really able to become a parent in your recovery.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
So how does somebody get in contact with Fellowship if they needed support?
Well, I mean, we are online. We do have a website. I'm not too sure. We don't have a Facebook page and stuff like that. A lot of it is just word of mouth.
Okay.
We do have a outreach coordinator, Andrew. He tends to go to a lot of our events that are around for recovery. He goes out to Brainerd. He goes up to other like normal, not where people think of having.
Right. Just getting the name out
Yep,
there.
yep. And we do have quite a few people that are from the Brainerd area,
Sure.
that come for treatment because they've had either family members or friends that word of mouth.
So real quick before we go on break,
Mhm.
if someone has a loved one or themselves need support in their recovery or they're looking to get into recovery, online, your website is the best bet to get a hold of somebody.
Definitely, I would say start there, and we have a phone number up there, and that phone number is attached right to our front desk coordinator. She contacts all the intakes and everything like that. If you are interested, she's very warm and open. So
Awesome. Well, thank you for telling us about fellowship recovery. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we will dive into the world of food addiction. So thank you for listening to Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution. Welcome back to Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution here on AM 950. I am joined by
Eli.
And Darnell.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So now we are going to get into a topic that I believe we have not discussed on the show before, which is food addiction. It is something that is real,
Oh yes, very
that
real.
that can be somebody's. I don't know if
You can be outlet, I guess.
Outlet
Yeah,
is the right word?
Food could be like an outlet for people instead of a chemical substance or other forms of addictive forms.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different styles of addictions.
Well, and I was reading about it just so I knew a little bit more about it. And food can trigger the same responses in the brain like drugs can.
Mhm.
Wow.
And so it releases that dopamine.
Yep.
So it releases that happy feeling.
Yep.
And so then when you have that with food, then it's similar to drugs. When I was on drugs, it made me, that neural pathway was lit up. So food can do the same thing.
Yes, it can. And I feel like the last time I was on here with Caddy, we kind of discussed my brother a little bit and the process of trying to get him to move out to Minnesota. So I'll update you all on that. My brother Andrew is here in the state of
Yay.
Minnesota.
Is that a good thing?
It is a phenomenal thing.
Okay.
We have got him kind of rolling, and kind of learned a little bit more of how he was perceiving his own food addiction, because my brother, he's well over 650 pounds. So he's, kind of like the type of people you see on that television show, TLC, I think it was 600-Pound Life.
Yeah.
So, that was kind of what we were preparing for. And, so we kind of got ready for it. And
So what does that mean? Like getting ready for it? Like,
So
what does that entail?
So a lot of times from what I've kind of like figured out from my brother is that he plays victim a lot. And I know that comes with a lot of, addiction to begin with, is that we like to victimize ourselves to make us feel better to continue doing what we're doing. And for him, I was kind of peering into seeing how if we tried to ask him to get up and throw his trash away, he'd be like, I can't do it because my legs hurt, or I can't do it because I get out of breath so fast. And, it's like, I get all of that. I get it 100%, but it's like at a certain point, you're 31 years old. We need to get you rolling. And you haven't really lived as an adult for a long time because you've had everything catered to you.
Oh, so
so
he's never had to.
He's never had an actual struggle. And, the only thing he's ever had to struggle with is his weight. And he constantly paints that as his reason why he can't do anything. And he's using that as, his stopgate to try to motivate and better his life. And, that's just where I'm at as his brother, is just to try to continue to show the motivation and show him that he can do it, and try to limit those negative thoughts, try to limit that negative self-worth that is attributed to his eating, because it's just, at a certain point we eat to make ourselves feel, like you said, good. And there's a point where that takes over your entire mentality, to where that's all you want to do, even if you have the minor and the smallest of inconveniences happening to you.
Did you or your family see any warning signs or
So
characteristics that might
yeah.
show that this might be more than just I like food?
Yeah, and it's kind of in tune with how I had my own traumas growing up. Me and him, we experienced a lot of the same similarities, just in the way we were raised. And for him, he's always been kind of bigger. He hasn't ever been like what they say is a normal sized human being. But there was a phase where my brother actively was, in control of what he was doing and how he was kind of perceiving food. Um, like a normal person. But when my dad passed away, that's really when I started to see that kind of downslope. That snowball just kept rolling. My brother, my dad was the only person that was able to tell me and my brother it straight up, like, hey, you guys are getting fat, like you need to figure it out, and it's like at certain points, like you need that, I know you need that. And, we didn't have that anymore. So I didn't have that structure for myself. And then my brother didn't have the structure to continue to try to be as healthy as he can after my dad passed. So I was able to see that start to snowball into him buying whatever he wanted to buy, drink whatever he wanted to drink. Didn't care when people were telling him that, hey, man, like you should probably try to figure out, some sort of diet plan instead of just going and grabbing, a crave case from like Del Taco with like 28 tacos in it and stuff. And and seeing the relief in his face when he was eating copious amounts of food, it kind of, at that time I didn't ever recognized it, because it's like I had no idea about substance use history. So now that I have my own recovery, I kind of can see how I perceived alcohol. He kind of can do the same thing with his food. If he's feeling down, depressed, sad, anything, he tends to go more towards that food because it's comfortable. It makes him comfortable.
I feel like food addiction is just not talked about enough.
It isn't. And I mean, it's not even just being obese. I mean, you have bulimia, you got anorexia. I mean, there's so many different aspects to food that don't get discussed enough, and that there should be more programs available for people that may be experiencing some sort of eating disorder.
Darnell, have you experienced or known somebody that has had an eating
Yeah,
issue?
actually sitting here listening to you, I was just thinking about my my first prison bit. Actually, I replaced my drug use with eating. I used to sit around and eat canteen and double meals at the chow hall. I was actually up to like 3:30.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't
I would have never
imagine.
guessed that.
I would have
Yeah.
never,
Yeah.
because you love, like, Darnell loves going to the gym, like you're fit,
I
you
sure
go.
do. Yeah.
And so I can't imagine it.
Yeah, and I think that's partly where it came from. So my first year in my prison bit, I ate nonstop, constantly. I was just eating my feelings. I was
Yeah.
depressed. My first time being, away like that for so long. And a year in, I knew I had about a year left, and I was like, well, I got to do something about this because I wasn't happy in the body that I was in. So I really like made that focus to start. I started running every day. Eating more vegetables in the chow hall and no desserts. That's kind of where it started. I don't eat desserts.
Okay,
today.
because every time we have
Never-
desserts or sweets in office, Darnell says no.
Haven't ate desserts since 2012.
Oh my
Go.
gosh.
2011, I guess, something like 12, something like that. Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
been a long time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I had that. I had like 6 Oreos last night.
Yeah.
So what, I'm just to educate the audience here. So what was that switch for you that you were like, I want to make a change. I'm not happy with my weight. What?
A lot of it was that I just wasn't happy with the way I looked. I was self-conscious about that. I knew I was getting out, and I wanted to make a change. I wanted to have my best foot forward. Really, I had all opportunity. We had plenty of time in the yard to run. We had gym time to go down to the gym. It was really just putting that effort in. And a lot of it is, staying determined, sticking to your routine. What's it called? Discipline 100%. Even when you don't want to do it, you need to do it. So you got to do it. And it really, that's another thing to note too, is your brother too. It sounds like it didn't happen overnight, but once it starts going, it's like that snowball where it's hard to stop. You get into that routine where you're eating a certain amount and your body expects that certain amount, even if it is a surplus.
Yep. And, and I had that conversation with him yesterday. I had to have that sit down conversation with him because I haven't had it with him since he moved here. And, I kind of was like asking him those questions. I'm like, so, like, were you eating to the point of where you were just full, or were you eating well past that point of feeling full? And he's like, I don't notice it, but he's like, I definitely do notice, like, after I am sitting there more miserable than I was going into it. And for me, that sounds a lot like when I drink. I'd be
Yeah.
drinking because I feel so good. And then, you wake up the next morning, you're miserable because you're like, what the fuck? What am I doing with myself? And like, what else can I try to adjust without having to change what I have going on already, and that's where he's caught, because he feels like he has to change so much of his life that he doesn't need to do a lot of the other work for stuff. So it's me trying to help him realize that, no, you have to work at both things at the same time and continue to work at them, because it'll get easier and easier and easier. So.
And I'm going to imagine, just like when you're in recovery from substance use disorder, it can be overwhelming.
Yes, very much so. And I mean, he also said that yesterday. Like, he moved out here, we got him signed up, got his new ID, all that in the first week.
Wow.
And he told me yesterday, he's like, I would have never gotten that done in like the first week or the first month or the second month I was here. And I was like, well, this is just how life is going to have to be. Like, we're going to have to figure out, ways to be motivated to go get the things done that we know we need to do. Because if you get those done right away, then you're going to have more time to kind of enjoy yourself more often than not. And, I think I kind of got through a little bit, and I always tell him, like, I'm going to be your biggest support. It's like, I'm your brother. You're the only person I have left from dad. So it's like, I want to make sure that me and you can both, get through this together and maybe learn some more stuff about each other. So,
and be able to have a healthy life, both of you.
Yep, exactly. And, him enjoy moving to a new state, learning and meeting new people, and that's where I hope he can get to.
And it sounds like, Darnell, for you with your journey, you also had that support from maybe Bree or your mom, or.
For sure. I mean, with anything, having that support with people that's backing you, it's always key. And also taking those baby steps. I mean, don't take those huge steps, because it's going to seem like it's impossible, but just start slow and let that gradually kick in and get to the next level.
Yep. And that's what I'm just kind of trying to tell them. Like, I'm not going to force you to do anything right away. I'm just asking you to start looking into some things, and if you need some help with looking out, reaching out, I'll help you out.
Yeah.
That's what I do for work. It's like, come on, dude, I got you.
Yes. And I think that it sounds like he's motivated.
Yes. And, and that was the biggest worry about when he was moving out here. I'm like, I really hope he's coming out here motivated, like he was telling me over the phone, because words are a lot easier to say than action,
100%.
He's definitely putting those words into action right now. And, I'm just continuing to tell him how proud I am of him and supporting him through it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that having that support will only help him stay the course.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I agree 100%.
But I also, want to mention that a reuse can happen even with food.
Yeah.
It's not just a one and done, just like substance use disorder.
Yeah. I mean, and with food too, it's tough, because I mean, you can't starve yourself. So you got to eat. So you got to find that happy medium where you're eating to the right amount.
Yep.
And knowing that you're eating enough.
Yes. And knowing that you're, at the point where you don't need to continue to feed yourself.
That's why food is such a complicated thing.
It is.
Yeah.
That's why it needs to be talked about more.
Because you need it to survive. But if you have an issue with food, whether it is eating too much or not enough or not at all, because there's
different stages of it.
There's different stages of food addiction or body dysmorphia or things like that. So I mean, food is complicated.
Yep.
It is.
And it's just like we never really realize how many emotions and feelings we put towards certain portions of food that we like to eat.
Yes.
And it's like, I mean, I can tell you honestly, hamburgers are one of my favorite things to eat. Emotionally, I'm attached to eating hamburgers, because it's like, I grew up doing that with my family. So it's like, just eating simple foods like that, it can bring back those memories. And,
Yeah. Or for me, I stress eat.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
It's just so interesting how it's easy for us to kind of find and latch on to those other things that we think are, oh, it's not going to be a problem.
Or it's normal.
Or it's normal. Yeah, exactly. So, It's amazing. And it's like the more I work with him, the more I'm going to be able to learn and kind of understand more of the way he was thinking about himself, because it wasn't good. And it's, trying to change that negative mindset to be more positive about what he has going on. It's going to be the biggest, hurdle, but he's going to get there.
So is he going to treatment for
So
this while he's out here?
We just got him on medical assistance. So he's going to start looking around. I did tell him to get in contact with the Wilder Foundation, because that is where I went for mental health. But we are, I'm slowly going to start talking to him about possibly trying an outpatient, maybe seeing if he'd be warm to that, and go meeting a group of people that have similarities that he does. So he can feel like he's going to have his community. He feels like he's going to have more people to talk to that understand more about maybe how he might be feeling.
And don't they have, how we have like AA or NA? Don't they have?
Yeah, it's called OA, Overeaters Anonymous. Yep.
So I don't know.
I mean, we've been looking into all this stuff, so we're definitely trying to get him rolling. But like Darnell said, you don't want to start him off too hard, because I don't want him to
that
feel
might be
like
too
it's
scary
impossible.
for him.
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, I'm done.
Yep. And it's like I worry about that with him, because I mean, he hasn't done a lot of stuff for 2 years, so it's just kind of like, yeah, you're here with me now. I'm a really motivated individual. So it's like, I gotta kind of tone that down a little bit with him every once in a while. So
yeah, one good place to start too could possibly be getting a food journal.
Yes.
Keeping track of everything.
Yep.
Maybe not even cutting back right now, but just saying, okay, this is what I eat in a week.
That'd be a very good visual.
Think about where to drop back at.
Yeah, because it's true. Like, he's living on his own, so it's just, it's kind of like.
So no, I mean, not to sound like a babysitter, but no one's there to help him notice if he's.
Yeah, and it's like I've kind of told him about a journal, and like try to just monitor kind of what you're doing throughout the day. And he's honest with me about it, and that's one thing that I've really been appreciative of him, is like he's not hiding the fact that he might be eating a couple more snacks than he should throughout the day, or it's like he's drinking sugary drinks when he knows he probably shouldn't be, and I appreciate that honesty with him, because to me that makes me feel like he's not looking at me like his authoritative brother. He's looking at me like someone he can confide in and trust again, because it's been a long time since we've actually seen each other, and I'm much different than when I left California.
So to help educate the audience, so what advice would you both have for people that might be struggling with food, overeating, or wanting to get into that healthier lifestyle? What advice would you give people?
I would say start with talking to your physician. There's a lot of different pathways when it comes to weight loss, whether it be like GLP-1s or just keeping track of dietitian. Just little things like that can get you in the right direction, so you can figure out what your next step is on that journey.
That's a good idea.
It's a very good idea, and that's kind of where we're at right now. It's like, once we can get seen by a doctor, we know we're going to be able to get some answers for a couple other things and kind of figure out what other path we should go. But like, I also believe that, continue that motivation, continue knowing that you are worth, you have a lot of self-worth. Just because your image shows something different does not mean that you are worthless.
Yeah.
It means that you just need to work on yourself a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that, because everyone in this world needs to work on themselves.
And I think it's important to also remember that everyone deserves to have a healthy and happy life.
Very much.
And so whether it is food or substances, gambling, what have you, we all deserve to be in recovery from whatever we're struggling with. And you're worth having that life.
Exactly. And, just maintaining that focus on that your life is worth every single second.
Yes, it is. And so I know, Eli, that you've been helping your brother. So how else are you motivating him? Are you going to go to the gym together to start baby steps that way?
Yep. So, like, yesterday was a big day for him. I'll go back to it again. So I initially had the plan to go over to my brother's house to see if we can get him to start driving again. And, he's very hesitant on that, because he's worried about his stomach and the steering wheel, this, that, and the other. So, I just kept trying to tell him, like, dude, if your stomach hits the horn, it's not that big of a deal. It's funny. You should just learn to laugh at it, because it's not going to be that way forever.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to slowly start seeing, that coming back, and you're not going to be honking every time you're braking. So it's just telling them, to remain proud of this small step of getting in the car, driving around a little bit, and then coming back to your house. That's something you haven't done in 2.5 years. You haven't physically driven your car in 2.5 years. You've always had someone else driving you. Look at what you can do. You're driving your car. That gives you more freedom and more availability to do what you want.
And it sounds very much like a peer recovery specialist. You're empowering him.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving him the choice to make the changes that he wants, and you're helping him realize his own motivation.
Yep. And, it's like I said, I learned that all from you guys because I didn't really know how to listen very well and communicate with people that, family or people I didn't even know. And now I'm recognized for being able to do that comfortably and make people feel comfortable being around me, meeting them where they're at, not trying to further any of that. So
it's a good skill to have.
It's a wonderful skill. And I'm so happy I was able to learn it at 28.
Well, hey, I mean, I don't know many 28-year-olds that can do this. Actually, I don't know a lot of 28-year-olds in general, but still, I mean, to be in your 20s and being able to have that empathy for people and use your listening skills to fully hear what somebody's saying and value them where they're at is huge.
And I just I think it plays into part how I was raised and how I grew up. I always heard growing up, you act a lot older than your age because it's just I've gone through a lot of things at young ages to where I had to learn to be more of an adult at a younger age. So that's why
you're an old soul.
Yeah, I hear it all the time, but it makes me happy to know that I'm not just being looked at like, other people that are my age to where it's like, you guys have no understanding of life or what's going on. So it's nice to be able to just be like, yep, I'm 28, 29. I can tell you all types of stuff, show you where you need to go, get the stuff you need. So,
and I think just being able to communicate in general in this day and age is important. Because I'm serious. Because everybody's on their phones.
Skill,
yeah, it is, and it's gonna go away further and further if people don't recognize how much we do need to talk.
Because people are scared to talk to their people sometimes.
Yeah.
And so the more people that are able to actually listen to somebody and value them and show them that they're worth it, might bring back the art of conversation.
Right. Yeah,
maybe
you start it with someone, then it can work down a line.
Exactly. See, it's like the game of telephone.
Exactly. But
no pun intended on that one. Just thought of that myself. Okay, so we are going to take a quick break here on Redefining Recovery, a Recovery Revolution, and when we come back, Darnell is going to talk about our Walk for Recovery and Recovery Month events. Thank you.
This guitar needs 6 strings, 'cause without it there's no song. And this house needs love in it.
Welcome back to Redefining Recovery, a Recovery Revolution here on AM 950. I am joined with
Eli
and Darnell.
Thanks, guys. So Darnell, we have at Minnesota Recovery Connection some events coming up in the month of September, which is?
So we have the Walk for Recovery coming on September 12th. It's at the state capitol from 10 to 3.
Yes, 10 to 3. Yep.
So, and right now we actually have our sponsorship packages open for individual or for organizations rather that want to participate and table at our event. I wanted to touch base and kind of share some of the opportunities in the packages for individuals or partners that want to come table at the event. Such as if a diamond sponsor were to come and be a sponsor at organization for $1,200.
We always welcome diamonds.
We love diamond sponsors. We love them. So you'd get up to 150 tickets to the Rally Caps of Recovery game. That's on September 15th. That's the Twins game. We're playing the Yankees recovery night at the Target Field.
And apparently Yankees, that's a big deal.
Yeah, they beat us last year, so this is a rematch.
There we go,
we'll
redemption.
We'll have to get them this year because I remember last time we lost right at the end there.
And I believe, and I know I'm kind of like intertwining the events now, but Rally Caps, it's also $1 hot dog night.
It is correct
that game.
Yep. So $1 hot dogs at Hennepin Grill, and they're throughout the ballpark.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what else we got, Darnell?
With Diamond, you also get 20 T-shirts for the Walk for Recovery T-shirts. So we have signature shirts every year. This year we're gonna have
So they're gonna be white. I know that much, and
Yep,
we're gonna
yep.
have our new logo
Yep.
on it, and then on the back. So the winning team
There we
last
go.
year, which was Team Emily, I believe. No,
Kicking
it
it
wasn't.
for
Kick
Kelly.
it for Kelly.
Kicking it for
Sorry,
Kelly.
sorry.
Kicking
Kick it for Kelly.
Kelly.
I got it wrong.
Yes.
Kick it for Kelly. They got to design the back.
Yeah. Yep.
So they'll have their custom design on the back.
Yeah.
So
that's really awesome. So yeah, so this year, if you are participating and you want to put together a team, and whoever raises the most, next year you'll be on the back for a t-shirt. So that's
exactly.
a motivation to get out there and fundraise and show your support.
Yes. So
Yeah.
what other levels do we have?
So we also have platinum levels, which is 7,000, gold, which is 5,000, silver is 2,000, and bronze would be 800. With all those packages, there's various opportunities as far as t-shirts, tickets to the game, sign logo signage on signs at the event.
The lawn signs that we have. Yep.
As well as being in the newsletter and being recognized on our website
And social media.
I will
Thanks
put
to
you.
Sarah. I will put you on our Facebook page and Instagram page. We also will have 8, I believe, food trucks.
We do. Yep.
We got 8 food trucks at the Walk for Recovery. It's just a great event to come out, be a part of the recovery community. If you're new in recovery, it's a great chance to get into the community.
Yeah.
Or if you have, like Eli, if you have people from Fellowship Recovery, you could bring people from there. It's just a great day to be in recovery.
Yeah. 2 other things too. I just forgot to mention. For diamond and platinum sponsors, you get an appearance on this show.
Oh,
so you get to sit in this seat and talk to Sarah and Caddy. Tell us all about your beautiful organization.
That's awesome.
So if that's not motivation right there to be one of those fancy sponsors, to be on the radio,
we'll get you in here.
Exactly. My goodness.
Heck yeah.
So then Rally Caps is September 15th.
Correct. Yep. So it's a Tuesday. It'll be at the Target Field, obviously. And the tickets are now on sale. So you can go on our website and register for tickets. We won't send them out until mid-August, but we'll have you on the list and we'll get it rolling.
So if people were interested in either buying tickets for Rally Caps or signing up to be a sponsor, where would they go?
So you can go to minnesotarecovery.org/walk. On that page, you can scroll down. You'll find a few different links that'll take you to other various pages. So you'll have the sponsorship page and also the Rally Caps page.
Okay. Yeah. And then I believe we also have something we call community partners.
We do. So we offer tabling for small organizations like recovery community organizations or small nonprofits, where we ask for a donation of $100, but they can also come and table at the event. We really want to make it low barrier, make sure all the resources are there so individuals can learn the community, learn what's out there, and get the support they need.
And last year we had about 100-ish.
107, I think. 107.
Resources.
Wow. Yeah.
Awesome.
Between sponsors and community tables. So we like to be able to provide as many resources for the community as we possibly can, because we have like 3,000, 400,000 people that show up for the walk. So the more we can give them, the better.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know you also want to give a shout out to Recovery Cafe Frogtown.
I do. So Recovery Cafe Frogtown, for anybody that doesn't know, located in St. Paul on 499 Charles.
That sounds right.
In St. Paul. Yeah, it is. I just had to look to make sure. I didn't want to mix up the 499 or 449. Yes, 499 Charles in St. Paul. So what they are is a recovery community organization. So it's essentially a drop-in center. They have activities throughout the week that individuals can come as long as you're a member to participate in.
So what does a member mean?
So a member is you'd come to Frogtown Recovery Cafe and sign up, and with that, your obligations as a member is to participate in one circle a week. So it's essentially it's a recovery group. You sit down with individuals and really basically just talk about what successes you've had, what struggles you had, and goals for next week. And then any volunteer work that you do at the organization.
And Darnell runs a group on Wednesdays.
I do. Wednesday at 3:00, I run a circle. So they have a bunch of activities throughout the week. On Mondays, they have things such as art therapy. They have a latte hour, yoga. and they have coffee and community. I guess they call it. I guess
Sure.
drink some coffee and hanging out with the
There
community.
you go.
Yeah. Yep. And then they have lunches on Wednesday. Actually, Monday and Wednesday I also have lunches at noon, and those are free for anybody that's a member to come and eat. They usually have some pretty good food. They also have men's basketball at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. If anybody's interested, I used to partake a lot way back when, but
Yes, you did.
I did. I was there every Wednesday. It's a great opportunity to hang out with a good group of guys and play ball.
And that could be a recovery pathway for somebody.
Oh yeah,
Sure
definitely.
could. Sure
Side note.
could.
Yep.
Yeah, and then also they do offer peer recovery support on Tuesdays by appointment, Tuesdays and Thursdays by appointment. So you can give them a call at 651-207-5119. Just request an appointment to meet with a peer recovery specialist.
You do a lot down there.
Yeah, and they have a couple other events coming up.
Oh
So
my.
on April 20th and May 18th, they're having a free naloxone training at 5 to 6 p.m. Hosted by Justin McNeil from Begin Anew.
Oh, Justin's great at doing some harm reduction training.
Yep. And then from 6 to 7, they're going to have free medicated assisted therapy workshops. That's going to be from Melissa from Recovery Telecare.
Oh.
So we know Melissa. You remember Melissa?
Oh, yeah, I do. Yep.
Yeah. So she'll be there. And she'll be doing some education on MATs.
Medicated assisted treatment.
Yep. And I thought I heard somewhere that they're going to be having food at this event. Maybe not. Don't quote me on it. I don't see it on.
So if someone shows up
it.
and they think there's food,
I don't see it on the.
it's Arnell told them.
I thought there was food on there, but yeah,
they might just because
there might be
because it's dinner time.
Yep.
Dinner time.
Yeah.
I thought they had one more event.
Nope.
That was
all
it.
I got right
Oh,
here. Oh,
okay.
actually, they actually do have another event here, but it's not on this. It's my phone. So and I can't remember the day of the week it is, but they actually have an individual come in that helps with credit reports and working on your credit.
Oh, that's handy.
Yep, and that's going to be on. I don't know what day it is. I can't find it. Sorry.
It's okay.
But reach out to Frogtown Recovery Cafe. Go on their website, get in contact with them. So the individual comes and they do a workshop for improving your credit and to learn budgeting and stuff like that. And I think it's on a rotating schedule. So
that is really smart that they do that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people when you're early in recovery or just in general may not know how to do their finances in a smart way where they're not.
Yeah, and it's very interesting too. A lot of times that people don't think of their finances like that, especially when you're in active use.
Well, and when I came into my recovery, repairing my credit score was a beast.
Mine's just getting better now.
It's a beast to get it back. And you never realize the importance of your credit score until
you never really care.
You
never care until it's
and then you start caring and you're like, dang it.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't buy a car?
No, you can't.
Until you dig a hole and then you're like, now I care that I'm in this hole.
And now you it's that the education I think is huge for people. So we got about a minute left. Okay. And so what I like to do when I host the show is end the show with something motivating for our listeners. So each of you, do you have something motivational to send our listeners to?
Sun's out. Wake up motivated every day. The sun doesn't shine every single day in this wonderful state of Minnesota. So use it, enjoy it, and love it.
Thank you. How about you, Darnell?
I would say make the most of your time and be open to new opportunities and to better yourself and to really figure out what your vision is and find your path to get there.
And I want to say thank you to our listeners for spending the last hour with us, with Darnell, Eli, and I. We really appreciate that you take the time to hear our show and learn about substance use disorder, food addiction, food issues. We really do appreciate you, and Caddy and I love that you listen to us. So we thank you, and we hope that you have an excellent weekend. Thank you for listening to Redefining Recovery, a Recovery Revolution.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Ba-da-ba-ba.